Okay, let's see what we got. See, I got that model. There's a glue bomb from Tammy's friend. I couldn't get the windows out of it. But I went ahead and painted it candy purple with some tiger stripes. I used some flocking in the interior. Move this. Interfere. I shot black primer on it first, masked it with some, that one there, I brush painted Elmer's glue over the black. Then I shot a tan, just a rattle can tan over that. And then I shot, I thought pearl white. Later. Then I shot the candy purple from House of Colors and over that. Here's what I'm working on now. It's supposed to be a candy purple, but it's not. Not quite up. And I got runs in it. It was a rattle can that sprays intermittently, which is wonderful. Not like a paint gun or anything. Got fingerprints all over it. Put fingerprints on it. Okay, that's wonderful too. Now, I shot this one here white, then a pearl over the white, and then I shot and fingerprints on it. That's neat. Then I shot a rattle can. Let me go find that. It doesn't spray very good. Krylon made it royal purple, and that's how it turns out. Well, that glue killed that model. But I went ahead and did it like that anyway. See if I can do that there. If that turns out good. Bugatti I was working on still. That Bugatti, I finished that one. And that one is a die-cast Bugatti back there. I got it from eBay or something, but it was the right scale. You got the James Bond. Got a collection of those. The machine guns pop out. I made that one. I'm not done gluing the engine on it yet. I made up the engine in a Porsche 928. a Chaparral, 1971. Can't remember what that one is. Matra 650. This one is a third set of decals, third paint job. Then I had some decals that I did just random stuff on, and I cut it out in the shape of the fish. I made it into the Barracuda. Now I have to show you how I do that yellow with the white. Yellow and white stripe. I take a piece of plastic, like what the decals come in. I'll lay it down and then I'll dip a sewing string in some Elmer's glue and water mix. And I'll lay it on I'll have to go get that and show it. I'll lay it on the plastic then to dry. Hauling. There's another 57 Chevy back there. And that one is a 55, I think. That's that string that I just hold up there in a spray. There's a Ferrari 1965 GT 250 Gran Turismo. The Ferrari emblem on the back. I made my own fenders, and I started with a resin body. This one here is a little dusty. But it's got the skeleton chauffeur driver. He was Rommel's from Rommel's Rod. Should get it out here and show it to you. That was made a coffin out of cardboard. And for some reason, this model came with 2 cargo areas. So I turned them around and put them end to end. So I made a perfect hearse. And then old Rommel, he's the chauffeur, so that worked out good. And that one was a Pontiac Gto 66, maybe. Then I used an 87 El Camino and punched them all together. This was my bad man. I turned into the Spasma Attack. And that too came from Tammy's friend, Dave, who just glue bombs, snots out everything. But I shot it pearl white. And you can't really see the interior in there, but I don't know what he did to the windows other than the glue. Probably dull coat. This one I got to do something with the wheels. I do have what I can use for gold candy. But the wheels are out of scale completely, wheels and tires. So I got to score some of them. All right. So it needs to go over there to the turntable. And that one probably. And that one. Come on, get in there. You want to go out there? That's perfect. Move those off there. There's this one. Redoing the back. The rear end of Ron was wrong. Because I saw models with Glenn. He did a wrecker of one of these, and I just happened to have one in the box, ready to go. So I dove right into it, glued it all together, started just ripping the body apart because I've done enough of those other ones stock. So this one, I'm going to use this color. Peacock Pearl. It's acrylic paint. She got it, I think, from Amazon. But a lot of these that come in a bottle like that, that's what I use for my airbrush a lot of times to do murals and whatever. And they work good and they're cheap. That one was like $3, but the ones that she always got was apple barrel and were 50 cents at Walmart. This one here, I probably should dust it off. At least you could see the windows. I tried to replicate bubbles in between the laminate glass. I dotted that from the inside with a toothpick and Elmer's glue. Get around the vent windows. Let's see what else I do. I did a collapse the seat on the driver's side, and then I made a seat cover for it. Piddly to get off there. I put plenty of corrosion on the battery. I don't know how close up this camera can see, but I wired it. I did windshield wiper marks on the windshield. I cut them the length of, I cut the masking tape, the length of the windshield wiper, and laid them on there. And then I shot just a tiny spritz of double coat. And I got some throttle linkage on there. Yeah. I have some, there she is. Can you say hi? Okay. Crusty. I think that comes down. Let's move that out of the way. I have to have a bad man. And it's all dusty. The engine I didn't put in it yet, but I do think I have one in there, laying in there. Yeah. I keep looking at the monitor, seeing if I have it squared on there. I was never too big of a fan of these. That was all right. Yes. I don't know what that was. Okay. Yeah, they're dusty. But that's part of the detail. Detail is the dust. Wanted one that was burned out. I did have the gas filled tank hanging out of it, like that was part of the problem. Rubber tires really accumulate the interior. I knew that would be a white chalky burned aluminum seat. And with this, I put the decals on, painted it. I realized it was probably a bright white. I painted it a cream color white to show age. And I did put the decals on. Then I shot some black rattle can primer into the top of the cap. And I dumped it into my airbrush and then I shot it on there. Then I shot the red oxide the same way and shot it through the airbrush. And then I put cinnamon on top of the wet paint to get it to stick. And it's kind of an air freshener, which is nice. My wife loves that. It made it worthwhile to take her cinnamon. Let's see what else I got going on. Material throw. Okay. How so? That one is the Vampire, V-A-N instead of M. They sure get dusty. All right, that's part of the fun. There we go. Okay, that was from the 70s Vampire van. I used to do those. There's quite a few of them. But to make them go on a Willie's body, it's much tougher. I started with cardboard and cut that to fit on the body. Then I laid it on the decal, dull coated the decal, laid the cardboard on the decal, cut it out carefully, and then I put each decal in place when they go up over the fenders, and it takes hours and hours to do that on that particular model with those particular decals. But it's really worth it when it's done. There's Zoe. And this one's dusty. I'm not even going to start dusting that one. I made a tow truck out of it. Some beefy. What I need to do is probably do that same logo on the new tow truck on the Rommel's rod. I think that'd be neat. And she goes, she's going to get it. She's had enough. Had enough fun. towing. Yeah. I should make a boom like that once again. So I had the wheels and tires. I started building that years ago. Once I made that zombie rat, that was my first try at a rat rod. I've made quite a few since, but none of them have been quite like the zombie rat. I'll have to put some pictures up of that one. Some pictures real quick. I got two in there. Slow time. I got three pictures in there. Okay. The monitor's going using a TV. So, I trust that you can see that okay. That's a vampire. I did crushed black velvet flocking for the interior, but it makes it to where you can't see the interior. Anything black just kind of exits everything out. Down here was a Camaro, funny car, Warlords. It was a 1971. And this one here was a Color Me Gone Challenger funny car. All three of these were very, very rare from the 70s. Let's see, get this one. Get over here. So you get fingerprints on it. Okay. Oh, I need that. Flashlight, I guess, until the sun comes up. This is one I did of my Montego I had. It was a 73 Montego. So I found the cat that I did years and years ago. I think in 1980. Came out in 85, I think. And it showed it black on the box art. But I shot mine then like a gold Tester's can. And it turned out really nice when I did the decals on that one. Then I ran into the Montego. And I said, wow. I told the guy that owned it. I said, wow, that's a 73 Cougar. He goes, no, it's 73 Montego. It had a front end very, very similar. And my brown top was exactly the opposite. It was more of a Landau on the back. And I had paint on the front part of the hood. But it had a very specific set of wheels on it, which were the Cyclone 2s, 15 in the back, 15 by 10 in the back, and 14 by 8 in the front. It made it sit just right. And the color the Ford made was gold glow poly. Let's see, we got another one I just did right here. I did some tan flocking in that one. I just built that one like 2 days ago, 3 days ago. Wasn't very long. Not long enough for it to even get dusty. And this one, yeah, I don't know what year, but it was an Impala. And they do have an El Camino of that year. I remember that. I think they even had a bad medicine. Bad. It wasn't a bad. It was bad something. Bad news. But this one was a bubble top, and I took the top and I turned it around and I made a rear window. Made a rear window for it. Front window. It was one of those models from that guy that Tammy knows. Friends with him. Never. And so I cleaned up that window as much as I could. The front window was unusable, so I turned the top around. Turn the top around. And I haven't buffed the hood yet. And it's all dusty. And this, shuffling around here like a Chinese puzzle. This needs to be dusted, but That was another car I had, the 68 Cougar. I traded my Maverick for it. Maverick with a grabber hood. Boss 302 with a stick shift. Would wheelie stand that. I made that one with a Johann Maverick. And I did the exhaust being held up by coat hangers, just like my real car was. There's a junk Porsche 914. A guy traded me that was rear of the frame was rotted out, and he had spray and foam that when the frame fell away, he just spray painted the foam black. Traded it to me, and it was just junk with no title, so I couldn't do anything with it. Gave that piece of trash away. And this one would be a 1/16 scale. And I used the official pace car model, and I built a Briggs & Stratton engine. And in the back, here's me when I was 11 driving it. And here was my first car. The Ottawa, Illinois Street Commissioner owned it since it was new. I put a set of chrome steel mag wheels on it by Mickey Thompson. And I did an exact model of it, of all the rust holes that were in the bed and under the hood. Everything is done exactly perfect. Here's another James Bond. Here is a Candy Brandy wine Munster's coach, because I can't leave anything stock. That one was shot it with lace first and then did the decals on it. That was a car that what my dad gave me. It was a 73 Mustang rotted to the ground. He gave me about 3 truckloads of body panels and frame and all that, and I built that car from the frame up. I'll have to find some pictures of that one. But that was when my dad gave it to me. He thought, oh, he's going to turn it into something like this, which is pretty close. No, maybe I didn't even go with slots, but I like slots about the best. Okay. That is the Grim Reaper chopper, 1/8 scale. And I took a Springer from a different model and put it on there and changed a few other things. That's about it, just the front end. The rest might have been box stock. And that one's all dusty, but it was Candy Brandy wine. Dig it out later. Okay. That was that other vampire I did. Here was the zombie rat. This was my first attempt of a rat rod back in 06. It was about June, late June, early July. And I made my own bell cranks and all that. Now I have photo etched bell cranks for the carburetors. There was the zombie rat. Then again, I made 2 of these models. One with red windows, which was my second one. It had red windows and it had yellow double plug wires and a different intake. I don't remember what I used, but I built it about exactly the same padlock, same everything on it. The padlock turned out pretty cool. That was gorgeous. Every square inch of it. I had some close-up pictures of just this area here. Just amazing. Now to paint that, I saw it in a scale model magazine back in 1994. And it gives you all the, you use a bucket of water, spray the paint on top of the water. I did a Mysterium by Big Daddy Ed Roth. And I did beautiful colors on it. It looked like jeans on one side, and it looked like some kind of red blood mess on the other side. So it was like half and half. It was gorgeous. But I started building the model when it was dry, and all of the paint of exactly how they told me to paint it. Paint crumbled right off as I was building it. I didn't like it. I got rid of it years ago. But how I've perfected this dip, and you dip the paint, is you paint the body of the van, paint it white, kind of a mist coat, so nothing else will run. And you wait about 10-15 minutes and take it outside and then really give it a decent medium coat of white again. And as wet as it is, then you start schlocking the top of the water with a whole bunch of mess, and then you stick it in where you want the details to be. Like, you want the detail here, you find where it's at in the bucket, and you dip it in that first, and you twist your arm to get different effects. Here's where it flips back over when you're pulling the body out. So you really want to brush the top of the water to get that out of the way. But yeah, that would have been a flaw in my book. But the rest of this was gorgeous. And that was that. With the zombie rat, I used it was a late model, since I did it in 06, about a year or two old. Top Fuel. I had 3 dragsters. That was the frames. They were still on the sprue. And I got them on eBay, all 3 of them. And a buddy sent me 3 Anglias. So I could have built 3 of them, but they lost interest so fast in them that it wasn't worth me building another one. However, I would have loved to have that 3rd one in my collection. It would have been all dusty by now. Okay. Let's see what I got here. Looks like the sun wants to come up. I'm going to switch that over. Perfect. All right. Okay, let's see what I got going on now. It's one of my El Camino trucks. It was on a 58 Chevy glue bomb. You could tell by the headlights that they were pretty much roached. All the glass was roached. Couldn't use any of it. It was one of the models that he gave me There was a lot of them he just schlocked up, and I didn't have any money to build any models, so he gave me a bunch of pieces of junk that even he didn't want. So I think that was a 55. There's the back. So it didn't even show. Nope. There we go. I got to try to get used to this, or what the distance away from this camera is good. Models with rats. Yeah, health class, 1984. Health class with the football coach. He nicknamed me the Rats right away, and everyone was using it because he was as popular as he was. This one I shot the black, then I used masking tape and masked it. Then I shot the cream color rattle can, probably Rust-Oleum, and then I shot. I don't think I did pearl white on that. Probably just the maybe black. I don't know, but I used candy tangerine and then put in too much root beer extract. That's where I changed it right away to a deep root beer, which was fine. It didn't hurt my feelings any. But I think if you use less, you have a nice, deep, rich candy orange. And I want to try that out, I think. And that's that about that. Well, let's see. What's the interior like? It's not finished out back there. I think that looks kind of decent in there. Decent-ish. But it was pretty good for a schlocked. It was completely roached. He'll use 2 tubes of glue underneath of the model because he refuses to read the instructions. Me, I follow the instructions exactly. I build a model I want it to turn out. I put it back. Let's see what else. A couple of those. I was working on those about a week ago. I had them painted years ago. Yeah, that one was a race car. I forget even who ran it. This one, I use Model A spokes. This one ran also. I don't remember who ran it either. But it would have been late 40s, early 50s Indy cars, which are, I really like that style. Really, I wouldn't mind having a car like that just driving on the road. Let's see what else. The Mack truck. It's just unfinished. And it's dusty. So there's that. way to do it. There it is. Way down. All right. Okay. Yeah, I'm not really into the trustee kind of. That one will end up being a car hauler. With a single axle, I don't like double for a car hauler. I like a long tail, so it'd be this one, cut that one off somehow. It pivots from there, so I have to come up with something else.